Okay, part two. This one isn't going to be nearly as long. Anonymous asked you, what is your favorite book or books if you are like me and can't pick just one? I named my favorite book, but favorite other books, I like the Narnia series, and I also like His Dark Materials, because regardless of your religious affiliation, they're both really, really well written and just I love them. And His Dark Materials makes me sob like a baby every time I finish it. So Harry Potter, obviously. And last but not least, actually, the best in my opinion, The Wheel of Time. The next question is a book that changed your opinion or helped you form an opinion about something. Actually, probably The Wheel of Time. Um, I don't know about opinions, but it taught me the most about people and how to read people, honestly. So I don't know how to describe it. It's how he wrote, and that's I learned a lot about people from that book. So, or those books. Ah, what is a book that makes you cry? Um, the last book in the His Dark Materials, and then the last book in Harry Potter. Um, a book I read and hated. Oh my god! Oh my god! It was I think As I Lay Dying, and it was the one that wasn't like it was all in. What's the word where you talk? Like it's like, hey y'all want to go down to Waterhole tonight? Like that, but like the entire book is written like that. Is it a? It's not a colloquialism, but it is. It's like you're writing in colloquialisms. Is that the word? Is that? I'm gonna Google that while I'm on the video. How do you spell that? Colloquial. Fix it for me, Google. A colloquialism is a word, phrase, or paralanguage that is employed in conversational or informal language, but not in formal speech or formal writing. I was right. Suck it, English. But yeah, it was terrible. Like you would read, like you expect that kind of stuff in like when the characters are talking, but the author wrote it like that, and so I couldn't understand half of it. It was terrible. It was the worst thing I've ever read in my life, and I got like 5 chapters in, and then just Wikipedia'd it. Like, no, I'm not even gonna do this. Favorite author would be Robert Jordan and Chuck Palahniuk. Um, More questions. Oh, good lord. Okay, this is a big other Kintako. Excellent name, by the way. What is your favorite memory with Aaron? And it would be the night that we saw a bunch of really cool meteors, and then like the biggest meteor I've ever seen in my life. We're big kids, and we got super excited about the meteor shower. So we drove out into like the middle of nowhere, some park, and lay down on a blanket and stared at the sky. And it took a little while. We saw a couple like blue and white ones, and then we saw this big was like orange and yellow, like across the sky, and there were like it had a sparkling shimmery tail, and it was really cool. Um, when did you realize you were a feminist and why? I mean, I guess I kind of always sort of. I don't want to say I always was because to be like feminism, there is an ideology, there's stuff you need to know about it. Um, but I felt like I always was, and then didn't have a word to put to it until I got older, and then I learned about it and was like, oh, that makes sense. That's what I am, and that's what I'm going to advocate and be a part of. What is your biggest pet peeve? Okay, it's when people are trying to be manipulative and they think they're clever. And it's not the manipulative part. Um, it's the undeserved sense of cleverness that comes with it. It's like my stepmother one time was talking to my ex and she didn't like him and she's like, have you ever thought about traveling the world? You know, sometimes you just gotta leave everything behind and break all ties and just go. And we're looking at her like, you are the most transparent person. um but yeah, that annoys me. That don't I mean if you want to be manipulative, like I mean a good manipulation, yeah, give you some props. But like if I can see through it, no, it's sad. Not that manipulation is ever good, but I hope you get my point. Anyway, favorite where am I? Book. Favorite wow, that popped up a lot in this. But White Fang, obviously. Favorite cartoon would be My Little Pony. No judgments. Favorite sex toy? Probably my little fairy mini massager. It's like a Hitachi one, but it's super tiny, and you can use it in sex, and it's great. Favorite sex position? I love being able to speak. Favorite sex position? What? Oh, he's excited. I'm like, ooh, sex talk. He's trying to talk. No, he found diamonds in Minecraft, and that's what got his attention. Don't even give me that look. I don't know. I like missionary a lot. I mean, doggy style is fun, but missionary, like, I mean, you can get creative with that. You know what I mean? I also like on stomach with like legs closed. That's nice and possible. Uh, and then this question, my favorite sexual role playing scene. I don't want to get into that because it could be graphic and triggering for some people. So I just not gonna go into that one. And then last question, Haley, darling, asked you for FAQ. How'd you get so fucking awesome? Maybe I was born with it, and maybe it's misandry. That was pretty good, wasn't it? He googled. Also, maybe you could talk about being a feminist slash pro-choice living in the South. I always like to hear other Kentucky feminist stories. It's not easy, and it's not fun, and there's rarely good days. Like, I was a clinic escort for a little while, as some of you may know. But I stopped after these two preacher men followed me to my car, and they were like side by side, and they wouldn't leave me alone. And then I get to my car, and is this Johnny Cash? Anyway, I get to my car, and they just start yelling at me when I was in the car, and it scared the crap out of me, and I've had a really hard time going back, because I mean, that was just scary. Uh, Basically, you kind of stick out like a sore thumb if you're vocal about it. Uh, and it can be a daily conflict, but I guess it's worth it, and so I just kind of deal with that and, spend a lot of my time yelling at guys. So, there you go. Anyway, that's all the questions. My hair is all on my face. I haven't sneezed. I'm proud of myself for that. So I hope you enjoyed. Maybe we'll do this again sometime. And have a good weekend. Do you want to say anything? Do you want to come over and say hi?
Bye, Tumblr.
They can't see your hand. Come show your cute face. Ah. Mwah. Bye, Tumblr. We love you bunches. Also, sorry for the terrible quality of these videos.